In question number 3, we've been given the curve with an equation of ax plus b plus c over x, and we're asked to solve for a, b, and c. Now, the first thing we should recognize is that there are 3 variables. We need to come up with 3 relationships to solve this. So the rest of the information tells us that we have a minimum point at 4, 1, and 4. We have a maximum point at -1 and 0. So first thing is that we have our 2 coordinates. So I can plug into our equation, the x and y into our equation to come up with 2 relationships. So if I plug in 1 and 4, I get a plus b plus c equals 4. So y of 1 is going to be equal to 4. And if I plug in q is -1 into the y equation, I get q -1, 0. So I plug -1 in, I get -a plus b minus c is equal to the y coordinate of 0. So I have 2 equations, and from those 2 equations I can actually solve for b, but I'm also going to need to generate a third equation. And we can use either the maximum or the minimum. So in this case here, we're going to first of all differentiate, because with the max min, we can make the derivative equal to 0. That's going to give us our third relationship to come up with a third equation. So our derivative is going to be a minus c over x squared when we differentiate the c over x. And then using the maximum, we're going to plug in -1 for x and make it equal to 0. When we plug in -1 for x into the y prime equation, we get a minus c. So there's our 3 equations. So I can combine some equations to solve. So combining equation 1 plus equation 2, right, we add those together, we end up with a plus b plus c equals 4, and we have -a plus b minus c equals 0. Add those together, and we end up with 2b is equal to 4, so we get b is equal to 2. So we solve for one variable. We can then combine one of those 2 equations with equation number 3. So I'm going to choose equation 1. So I have a plus b plus c equals 4. And then with equation 3, I end up with a minus c is equal to 0. Again, I can add those together, knowing that, I should substitute in b. b we solve for as b is equal to 2. So adding these together, we end up with 2a plus 2 is equal to 4. So 2a equals 2. A then is equal to 1. And then we can solve for c by plugging back into the original into equation 3. A is 1 minus c is equal to 0. That gives us c equals 1. So we end up with our a, b, c solved for. So we solved this equation, this problem. So again, we had 3 variables, so we need to come up with 3 relationships, and the 3 relationships we came up with are the 2 coordinates, and we use the derivative and the maximum being equal to 0. The derivative at the maximum equal to 0.